We are live on Facebook. I guess, wait, did it? It should have said that.
Not live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube.
But we're about to go live on Facebook. No. We are recording. I'm going to make sure everything's participant. Yeah, see the microphone right up there?
Got it. But that's YouTube, not Facebook.
Hold on. Okay, good. It's working. Well, no, we're not on. We're just on live on YouTube. Well, we're not even live on YouTube. But I did figure out.
What did you figure out?
I figured out how to go live on Facebook anytime off of a Zoom.
Nice.
So if we ever want to do a live, live Facebook live podcast of the Scotchy fucking Bourbon Boys, we can do it. I've figured it out. I'm just the magic that's happening lately. You know,
watching your mind at work is a privilege.
It's like it may be a privilege. I just destroy people. That's what I do. It's like I kill them with kindness and then I destroy them.
That's right.
Anyways, tonight, this YouTube segment, this special segment, you can see what's going on here. We got the. I'll put that out. Let's just put this and arrange it a little bit nicer there. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So what we're doing is we are going to be on the main podcast talking about the Ezra Brooks line. Now we don't actually don't have the Ezra Brooks line, but one of the things Xavier and I, when we first initially started drinking through the club, is we pulled in some bottles of Ezra Brooks, just straight Ezra Brooks, 90 proof Ezra Brooks. And honestly, when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
It was like the first.
It's a fine sipping whiskey, you know.
Yeah, we were used to Jim Beam and Evan Williams and really never had tasted Ezra Brooks. And all of a sudden we had the bottle and we felt that it was every bit as good as
plain vanilla garden variety Ezra Brooks off a store shelf. You won't be sorry.
Right. But that's not what we got tonight. We got the Ezra Brooks 99, courtesy of Little Steve-O.
Thank you, Steve.
We are not worthy that bottle. We're going to be, it's been open for a little bit. We're going to hit that. Then we're going to do the Distillers Collection that we picked up at the Lux Row Distillery, and that was batch number 7. It's made from extraordinary barrels, and that is a 107 proof.
Holy mackerel.
And then we're going to hit Old Ezra number 7, which is Ezra Brooks barrel strength. But then they just came out with that in itself is a delicious, one of the more delicious bourbons I've had I love it as far as a barrel strength. And when I see that, I pick it up. I mean, and you can see that it's there's not a lot left. This is one of my more favorite bourbons to pick up. And then the last one is something that I just picked up at a week ago or a week and a half ago at Lux Row. I was down in Bardstown for a barrels pick and I ran over to the distillery to see what they had on the shelf. And folks, if you're in Bardstown and you're bourbon hunting, you gotta go to the Lux Row Distillery gift shop because
it's fantastic.
But they always have special selections out, and so those special selections, this right here, this cask strength single barrel was out. It's 120 proof, and I'm excited to get into these couple bourbons that we have tonight. But one of the cool things now on another subject that we wanted to cover is when we're doing, now that we have the Scotchy Bourbon Boy group and we're doing the podcast and we're doing all the stuff, we get all these opportunities, would you say? One opportunity is this next weekend, we are running down Xavier, myself, and Roxy, and we are running down to Columbus, Ohio to podcast Saturday morning from the Middle West Distillery. And I get this. All of them, all the Ohio distilleries just kind of blend to me, not because they blend from distillery to distillery, because each one is unique in itself, and everybody at each distillery, the people are so awesome. It's just the way my mind works. So you got Middle West, High Bank, and Western Reserve. Now, I swear to God, there is a game puzzle out there to take those three distilleries and mix how many different combinations you can come up, you know, with. You got, let's, Middle Reserve and Western Bank. I mean, there's just so many different combinations that wouldn't, that, and so when it comes to my mind, and everybody knows my mind's super fucked up. It's just like seriously, when it comes to all the different names, fuck me. It's just that simple. I can't keep it straight, but I got it straight tonight. We got, you know, there's Watershed, there's Middle West, which we are going to be going down on Saturday. Ryan, the owner, I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be exciting. Western Reserve, this past Saturday, I ran up there and on a whim, met Kevin, the owner there, dropped off a business card, started forming a relationship with them, picked up a bottle of their bourbon. And then as far as High Bank, there's going to be something happening near the end of May. They really want us to come down. So that's another, you know, go down there kind of thing.
Right.
But this past Thursday, Carrie Sullivan, she had at the pretty much where we've been having our Scotchy Bourbon Boys meetings.
The barrel room.
Is the barrel room. Yep. And Carrie Sullivan's the owner. Well, she had a Four Roses
pairing dinner
with a spectacular, you wouldn't think that you would have gotten this dinner off a food truck. You know, they just are a catering food truck. But I mean,
this was the Rolls Royce of food trucks.
Yeah, and delicious, and everything paired with the different Four Roses. We got to meet
and understand, folks,
Adam.
It was catered. We didn't have to stand in line. We were at a table and we were served by waiters and waitresses that took care of us.
Yeah, from the food truck. They brought it in and put it in during the dinner.
Yeah, it was plated and set in front of us.
Right. But then there was the Ohio rep that Carrie works with, Adam. And then there was the Four Roses national rep that's out of Louisville. And his name was, I want to say, do you remember?
Mark.
Yes, that was it. And so Mark and Adam were awesome. They went through the different Four Roses expressions. We got this really cool Four Roses coffee table book. We walked away with glassware. We walked away with pins. I mean, the whole thing was done spectacularly.
It was incredibly well done. And Carrie really knows how to put on a, you know, use one of my parents' terms, a shindig. It was really good. It was a memorable experience. And I don't know what you would imagine just going to a little place like the Barrel Room and food off a food truck. It's like whatever you think that might be, I guarantee it was nothing like what you're thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was going to be nice, and she had described it, but I think it's exceeded expectations. I mean, that's just so we just had a blast. Got to meet a bunch of people.
Got to talk bourbon with a lot of people.
Yeah, promote the Scotchy Bourbon Boys and get out there.
Not to mention Mrs. Xavier was in her glory because Four Roses is her ultimate go-to bourbon. So.
Yep. All right, so I think that covers the YouTube extra. So we are going to get on with the podcast. I'm gonna quick make sure. Yeah, that's good. All right, we will get going. Oh, what the heck? So am I not connected to the internet? Oh, that's just not good. Subscribe. I'm already subscribed. Why? restore purchase. Then I'll just do that. All right. Renews on 5/3/2022. So, all right. So I just had a little technical difficulty on for some reason, but all right. Yeah. Okay. We got that. Everything seems to be going. And
all right, I'm ready for the 20th time. Let's start recording.
Here we go. Yeah. Well,
the endless prompts.
Well, but there's nothing you could do.
Oh, I know.
Dant Crossing, Gethsemane, Kentucky. Timeless hospitality that stirs the spirit. Dant Crossing is a one-of-a-kind destination for unforgettable weddings, memorable corporate events, day trips, and weekend getaways. The pastoral campus is anchored by Log Distillery and includes an amphitheater that seats 2,000, a 12-acre lake for fishing and unique lodging options, creating an immersive experience that's rooted in the community and culture of our little slice of Kentucky. More attractions will open soon at Dant Crossing, including our 21,000 square foot distillery, which we will have the ability to produce 15,000 barrels of spirit each year, a network of wooded walking trails, fully functional private train depot, farm-to-table restaurant, and the Legacy, a premier wedding and events venue. Whether you're looking to host an event, book a stay, or reserve a tasting, we're ready to welcome you. Learn more at dantcrossing.com.
Spirits of French Lick is proud to introduce the Maddie Gladden Bottled and Bond Bourbon. This 4-year aged bourbon is double pot distilled and non-chill filtered, and has a full-bodied mouthfeel with eucalyptus, molasses, clove, ginger, and slight citrus, as well as grains of paradise. The finish is long and reappearing on the back of the tongue with notes of pepper, tobacco leaf, and mint green. All of our spirits are available for tasting and purchase inside the French Lick Winery and Distillery. Spirits of French Lick. Respect the grain, please enjoy responsibly, and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die.
All right. Talk about an off-the-hook performance.
Yes,
my goodness.
Excellent. I think that pairing up, for some reason, I'm looking to see. Welcome to the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, where I can't even plug in.
Where we raise technical difficulties to an art form.
Where I can't even plug in a fucking speaker. Jesus, it's down there. Everything looks like it should be working, but no, the battery died, and that's what that was. But that's awesome. That's what we do here. We get technical difficulties, but you're gonna basically, what would you say?
We keep it real.
Yeah, you're gonna endure what we have to endure.
We have to suffer through it. So do you.
We love you guys so much for
all right, and we've got Tiny.
Yes, and Xavier here
to
do kind of a cool podcast that we planned tonight. We kind of threw this one together, but after we had done and taken so many different guests on it was the schedule was fast and furious. Yes, I mean, there's sometimes we'd be doing Monday and Tuesday nights, and then a Thursday night, and then back on to a Saturday night. And everybody was, we just would.
I'll tell you, that was. I think we raised the bar there. That was an outstanding array of special guests, and they were all wonderful to podcast with.
Yeah, and it was kind of a different look into aspects of whiskey. I mean, with Marquez. Out of Iowa. I mean, that's so unique what he's doing there with music and bourbon and rye. It's just, it was just, that was there. But then you got Jay, who is really getting close on our knives. So we were able to have Jay on. He's a knife maker that loves bourbon.
Fantastic.
And then we had just a bunch of we had Aaron Harris, we had Matt Jackson, and then who else?
Aaron Rothke.
Yeah, Aaron Rothke, Lisa Roper Wicker. I mean, It was just one kind of guest after another.
Yeah,
had Randy and Kate.
We had Jennifer and Kenny from
Luca Mariano.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was a fun time, but there's certain aspects of the podcast where you want to get back to basics. I mean, initially when we started this, we didn't have a lot of guests, but
we left out the really cool guy from iBourbon too.
Oh yeah, Trip Whitbeck.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a great.
Yeah, the one. Yes, definitely good catch there on covering everybody. I mean, if we've forgotten anybody, it's because we've killed brain cells. It's not because you didn't make a good impression. Oh yeah, everything that was happening overall. And now we're going to be getting into the actual spring with some warm weather. We're going to be going down. We're going down to do in-person podcasts in a lot of cases. And then we've got another couple events coming up, which is really cool, where you'll be able to see us. I believe we're going to be at Lakemore Beverage on Saturday morning, September 14th, with people from Horse Soldier. So that's going to be really kind of cool. And then that afternoon, Michael Walker of the People's Proof podcast, we are going over to Danny Boys, and we are going to cross podcast with him. We're going to be on his podcast with the Horse Soldier people. I think his name is Shimmy. And this should be a fantastic day just overall. So, and then we're going down to Springfield, Ohio for, this what would you say, bourbon event at a brewery. I'm not drinking, but for some reason, a brewery restaurant, and they're having a bourbon event with inviting and hopefully Bill Hockett's going to be there. I'm looking forward to it. I know Dayton Barrel Works is there, but if they're there's a good chance Bill will be there, and I'm going to reach out to him because that's going to happen. And
did we mention, jumping back, and I'm sorry that the needle keeps skipping here, but did we mention the fella that I believe is from Colorado that was
you're talking about Stephen Gould.
Stephen Gould, yeah. Oh my God.
Okay,
veteran and everything.
If you really want, Stephen Fonte of Limestone Branch. Yep. I mean, it'll just keep coming to us. You know what I mean? Yeah. It never stopped.
The brain cells are gone but not forgotten.
So, but remember, we are the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. You can find us at www.scotchybourbonboys.com. Check out the website for everything that is Scotchy Bourbon Boys. You can find out about our Whiskey Live, which tonight on this podcast, even though I completely dropped the ball, we have to figure out what we're tasting this Friday night on Whiskey Live. That's what we're going to kind of do. And we could do that a little later once we get a little bit going, but we got to come up with something. I think we probably can.
Seeing as how you have 400,000 bottles here, it shouldn't be too tough.
400,000. Anyways, but Whiskey Live is there on the website. But then also remember, we are on Facebook groups. We're a Facebook page. You can check out my Facebook page, Jeffrey Mueller. Then we are on Twitter. We are on Instagram. We are on YouTube. TikTok, all the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. On Twitter, it's at Scotchy the. You can check that out. And then I think I got that pretty much all the social media is covered.
All the major podcasts.
But then just make sure you check us out on all the major podcasts. It doesn't matter. We're on them all. You can check us out on any one. So if you do, remember there's the like, comment, like, subscribe, and comment. There you go. I'm not on my game. I remember a couple podcasts, I was like right on this kind of shit. And that's just like what's going, you know, you got good.
That horse left the stable.
Yeah. That was like 14 bottles of bourbon to go. But we, you know, we're there. We appreciate all your support. We appreciate everything that all you guys, you know, all your comments, all, you know, all your suggestions, leave them on the Facebook group, leave them anywhere. We just, we love doing this, and we love doing it for you guys out there, because, you know, this isn't the end, but good bourbon equals good friends and good times, and just not just bourbon, and good whiskey, right?
Good whiskey, yeah.
Right. So, you know, we've got that. We've got that down. Tonight we will be tasting. Now, we haven't had Super Nash on in a while. Now, he has supplied us with some damn good whiskey.
He is.
So
he's more than paid his dues.
Right. So, you know, he runs AB Fire Extinguisher Services in South Carolina, North Carolina, and the Georgia area.
So he's one busy fellow.
Yeah, and he's been hugely busy, and that's one of the reasons why you haven't seen him. It's his busy season, but hopefully he'll come on. We've got a Kentucky Owl comparison to do, and then we've only got like about 800 samples. Tonight I was thinking about, well, what could we do before I came up with working on the Ezra Brooks podcast tasting that we're going to be doing tonight. Now, we also are tasting in these beautiful Glencairns with the Scotchy Bourbon Boys logo. You can get that off the website, or you can get that off our Patreon site. That's the one I forgot.
That's exactly right.
Check out us on Patreon. There's lots of cool things. Subscribe, support. We appreciate that.
The
also,
beautiful etched Glencairns are from Martin Duffy, who is the North American representative for the Glencairn Glass or Crystal Company. And they are the premier whiskey glass maker.
Yeah, these are the premier whiskey tasting glasses. And so tonight on our Facebook group, we had one new member, Michael
Montano.
Oh, right.
Michael, glad to have you on board.
We didn't even have to have that prompted in front of us. We worked on this podcast that much that we were able to remember the one new member.
I took a Sharpie and wrote it on the inside of my left eyelid so I wouldn't forget.
I have it on my hand.
There you go.
Anyways, so tonight we are going to be tasting a Lux Row product. Lux Row, that distillery is down in Bardstown, Kentucky. They opened up, I believe, in 2018. And when they opened up, they basically opened up, and they eventually partnered with Limestone Branch. So up until recently, it's been Lux Row, but it was purchased this past, I believe, I think it was it January of the start of this year, it was purchased by MGP. Out of Indiana, and the whole thing now has this big support system of this large conglomerate distillery, MGP. So MGP also is looking, because they've always been an Indiana distiller making Indiana whiskeys and bourbons and ryes, and they were more set up for contract distilling and also selling aged barrel spirits. Like, you could go there and buy those spirits to open up a distillery. So their whole, what would you say, blueprint for success has been very, very different, but they've been very, very successful. And now they are owning Limestone Branch Distillery, Lux Co, and pretty much the ownership prior to MGP is still involved with Lux Co and Limestone Branch. You still have Stephen Beam over there, and you still have Paul Lux running the show, but you now have that support of this, large corporate. And they have come out with in the last year or two of some fantastic bourbon, the Ezra Brooks line, but the Ezra Brooks line has been improved, and that's what we're going to be tasting tonight, the improvements to the actual Ezra Brooks line. So there's the general Ezra Brooks, but this is the Ezra Brooks 99. Now this is courtesy of little Steve-O, who tonight you heard on the telephone. We had him on hold a little bit, but
yeah, it sounds like
yeah, but he did our cover, but he brought us this bottle. Now this is my share of what he brought us. Xavier's already poured it off.
I've extracted
his,
my fee,
and I'm sure his bottle. Now we got to pour some before you read. All right, so let's get some in our glass, because if you think about it, we don't have any.
Good.
I got you. We don't need that. I got you. So here you go. You want to read a little bit about it?
Do you really want me to read now?
Yes, I want you to read.
All right.
I really, 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 really want you to read.
All right. Bottled at a bold 99 proof and aged. These are almost impossible to read.
You read
the old-fashioned way. This isn't the bottle you had me read.
Yes, it is. It's the exact bottle.
You slipped me a Mickey on this one. Yes, you did.
You read this before.
I did not read this one. No.
No.
What I read.
No, it's not. Yeah. No problem. It's only got them on both sides. Yeah. So start reading, motherfucker.
Oh, shit. Let's try it again. Bottled at a bold 99 proof and aged the old-fashioned way in new charred American white oak barrels, Ezra Brooks is then charcoal filtered for an unforgettable, unmistakable, mellow flavor.
There's what, and just believe me, that's not the first time he's read it.
No, I didn't read this bottle. You pulled a switch on me.
What? You bastard.
I've been set up.
You're setting me up.
Once again, he pulls the pen and hands me the grenade.
No, I was like, are you sure? Did you read both sides? Yeah, I read both sides.
That's what I read.
There's only one fucking bottle with two sides, you bastard. It's exactly what you read.
Okay, here we go. Genuine sour mash bourbon made using the finest ingredients available, and for a genuine sour mash, oh God, a genuine sour mash bourbon made using the finest ingredients available for generations. Ezra Brooks whiskey has been the whiskey for those with a rugged spirit and taste for adventure.
Well,
and again, we apologize for our reading skills. We mean no disrespect to the companies or the people that wrote that.
I'm gonna start naming this segment. It's the old fuckers. It can't.
Yeah, well, we just need like reading glasses and flashlights so we can see.
And you still can't.
Well, if your damn speakeasy wasn't so piss poorly lit, maybe we wouldn't need all this.
Hey, don't look at it. Everybody knows how it's lit. It's not poorly lit.
For reading it.
Maybe it is for
maybe it is for my terrible old eyes.
Yeah, it's like this is the old codgers fuck reading, the reading fuck fest. What the? Let's just say this one's for Randy Brezzi. What the shit? So anyway,
all right, cheers.
So brother. Cheers. Now on this one, when we taste in the Glencairns, you can roll it around. You can put it on. I even made it so that you can. Oh my God! I don't.
What the hell did you do?
I don't have it. I need a bar rag. Let's pull out the bar rag. Oh. I don't usually do that because, yeah, you can tip the glass over and dump all the whiskey contents out on the bar, but it'll roll around.
You did that with more expensive whiskey than that. I remember, but we won't have to revisit that now. Louisville.
Anyways, so you can look at it. It'll show the really nice legs of,
The legs are nice, but the knees are skinned.
Right. And the legs are the drop going back in. Now, this one took a while. Right now, after it's just coming through on the bottom. The top is still, it sticks there. It shows the fatty acids and the viscosity of the whiskey. So you can pick up, you're going to pick up, like, if it's really, really thick and it takes a while and they're big, long, wide droplets or legs going back in, you know it's going to have a good mouthfeel as far as like a silkiness to it. It's not going to be thin. A thin will run down with thin streaks going back into the whiskey, and it'll do it quickly. It won't cling to the glass. So then you know you're looking at a thin whiskey. So that's how you can tell. Usually this is for body, rating.
Right.
All right. It's a teardrop. The Glencairn's teardrop shaped so that when you smell the whiskey, you nose it. You can basically have it. It's coming up and it's condensing near the top. It allows that to happen, and you can pick up different flavors and scents from the bottom and the top. And usually if you go bottom to top, you get that. Now, this definitely has, I'm getting a little bit of like a tangerine, not a tangerine, what is it? An apricot. I get apricot.
That's what I'm getting is apricot.
I'm trying to think about what kind of fruit I'm getting, and it's an apricot, maybe not a dried apricot, almost like a fresh apricot with,
Yeah, there's a freshness.
There's a little bit of caramel,
sort of like a zest, if you will,
but not much. It's like a little, maybe. There's a little ethanol.
Oddly, I am getting just a small tinge of ethanol, but it seems to be decreasing, or I'm getting used to it. One of the two.
All right. That's so sweet. Almost pure honey. It's like,
no, I am getting,
and there's a nutty aspect.
I'm not getting honey. I am getting maybe hazelnut, and the apricot is turned more into a lemon or a sour orange on the side, side and back palate.
It's so sweet up front. I don't know why, but I do near the back palate get a little lemony that you say that, but I also get a nutty.
Yeah, there's some hazelnut there
on the back end, on the finish. It's like got a nutty.
It's got a nice
there's
finish.
No it's got a really nice hug. Yeah. So that's a pretty delicious. I like this. I think it's a step up.
I like what this is doing to my palate in general. This would be a good before dinner pour to have to sharpen your palate up and enjoy whatever you're going to be partaking of.
I'm going to try this other whiskey tasting glass, but we'll pour out this. The next one is the Distillers Collection. Now, watch, it's just I'm going to read this one.
Well, there's less to read there, and it's bigger.
No, there's not less. I've got just as much.
Bullshit.
It's like the Distillers Collection came from the Lux Row Distillery Visitor Center. This is batch number 7. It is 53.5 ABV, but that means it's 107 proof. The barrel was filled on 10/4/2016. It was barrel number F50F121. Basically, it was distilled and aged in Kentucky for Lux Row Distillers, Bardstown, Kentucky. At the time, they were using some MGP products to, they have that. It made sense that MGP bought them. but this is a sour mash, charcoal mellowed Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, hand picked from extraordinary barrels. So this is a single barrel collection or a batch, but made for the Lux Row Distillers Visitor Center. So let's give this a try. Compare it to the 99. Now the 99 is an everyday product, blended, put out for a flavor comparison.
What's the proof on this?
107. It's like antique 107.
Good. Thank you.
Now, what you could do for us while we do this one is look. I want to know what the Ezra Brooks. Let's see. I'll look it up right now. I'll try something. What are you nosing on that?
What am I nosing? I'm getting. Well, oddly, I'm getting fruit and nuts again.
Yeah, it's. In my opinion, it's really close to the other one.
Yeah, and the nut has gone to more of a peanut than a hazelnut. I almost feel like roasted peanuts, but yet like you've got a hint of apricot or lemon.
So this is 78% corn, 10% rye, and 12% malted barley. So it's really kind of cool that there's more barley than rye, but this is what they consider because they're using rye instead. But when you're talking 10% rye, 12% malted barley, you get that unique flavor, a lot more corn,
Definitely.
So I think what it does is brings it closer to a Scotch. It almost has that little bit of fruitiness that you get with a Scotch or an Irish
maybe an unpeated Scotch.
Now that is way different tasting. I don't even know what to say about that. I'm gonna put it in. I don't know what just happened to me, but there's a lot of wood.
Definitely.
There is same nose, but God. Cinnamon. Oak. That's sweet. What's that? Is that cinnamon?
There's something
like hot and sweet and cinnamony.
Right, but it's quickly supplanted by oak, and it's not all that sweet. It's quite bitter on the side palate.
The first sip was a lot. Keep sipping because each one, the cinnamon keeps coming back more and more. Like a lot of the oak that I tasted initially is not there anymore. But it still has that woody. It's like a wood, like fresh shaved oak. Like you were in a woodworking, you know what I mean? And when you plane in.
And that's totally supplanted the nut taste too.
Yeah, there's no nut taste on this one. It's definitely oak. So if you're definitely an oak lover, this would be one that somebody would
be
love.
what you'd like. Yeah, it's a very minimal sweetness to that. Very oaky.
I get like red hots. Wait a second.
Yeah, but there's just not a lot of sweet there.
1, 2, 3, 4. There's supposed to be another Glencairn there. I had 3. Okay, you've got 4, right? And you've already
I've just got 3.
1, 2, 3. This was your first one.
Okay.
Then you got this 2, 3, 4, which is fine, which I set up. But what did I do with my glass? Yeah, screw it. All right, so that's okay. So the difference between the Distillers Collection in the 99. I actually would say that I like the 99.
Definitely like the 99.
But I do understand the unique complexity. The 99's not more complex. This one's a little bit more complex, but you're dealing with, instead of a nutty taste, you're dealing with oak. And it's borderline bitter. I mean, I don't think it's bitter or unpleasant, and I would drink this Distiller's Cut any day of the week. But
this is if you like cigars, you would like.
Yeah, that's a cigar.
This is a cigar bourbon.
I would say that. Sure. Yeah, I agree. I would totally agree with that assessment. All right, so that brings us to Old Ezra number 7. Now, Old Ezra number 7, you can read this. There's not much to read on it, but Old Ezra number 7 is one of my favorite. Initially, I like to, as I go along this bourbon journey, I like to basically pay attention to what bottles have I finished and what have I drank over the years. And Old Ezra number 7's like at the top of really good sipping and tasting and big bodied bourbon, but it also is one that you drink regularly. And so this, I believe, is my 4th bottle. I think I have a 5th somewhere else. And when you get into the 4th and 5th bottle in my collection, if you're talking about a very likable bourbon for me, because I would say Woodford Reserve Double Oaked is there, some Old Tub is there like that. Early Times Bottled in Bond, those are the more drink bourbons that I've liked. Now, Baker's, on the other hand, that's my wife. I mean, for God's sakes, I have countless numbers. I mean, Baker's is one that she really likes, and so I had a lot of bottles of those, or gotten rid of a lot of those bottles. Yeah. But I mean, some of the unique ones, only have 2. Like, for instance, I've only have old Rip Van Winkle 12-year. I only have 1 bottle of that. Not because I didn't want to, but it's just 1 bottle. So go ahead. Let me pour it, and then you can
see. That's why
I keep ripping it out of your hands, right?
All right.
I'm right on my pour. That's a fair pour, right, for a Monday night.
Yeah.
All right. Like I said, this is one of my more favorite. All right, you're on.
All right, so just reading off the label. Genuine sour mash whiskey, charcoal mellowed, Old Ezra number 7, aged 7 years, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, distilled and aged in Kentucky for Lux Row Distillers, Bardstown, Kentucky. Alcohol, 58.5% by volume, or 117 proof. Here we go, folks.
And I'm just going to tell you, now this enters into deliciousness. I get tons of vanilla. Like, it's like smelling a vanilla ice cream cone. Creamy vanilla. Oh my God. And then underlying the vanilla is
there's a citrus there too, though.
I would say it's not citrus. I'd say it's the apricot.
Okay, some fruit. I'll give you apricot.
It's not cherry.
No, it's definitely not cherry.
But the old Ezra Brooks has like a sour, citrusy taste or smell to it.
This smells like, after you've been into it, an orange creamsicle is what it smells like to me.
Well, it's got the vanilla. There's no doubt. I don't know if I get orange, but it's delicious. That is a really nice nose. That's a high-end nose. Complex as hell.
Okay, now here you go. That rules. That's good.
Wow. Vanilla, cinnamon, heat, body. The body on this
slight
is
oak, but not bitter like the last one. It's really, this is really a balanced bourbon.
I'm getting a little, even on the finish, a little bit of a licorice, black licorice finish, which I like. You know, I like absinthe, just based off the black licorice. Just a little bit.
Maybe a bit of fennel. Maybe a very subtle, but it is there now that you pointed it out.
That is bold, delicious bourbon.
But it's really balanced flavor profile from nose to finish. It's really good.
Now, it's got the proof aspect to it, you know, going all along. But yeah, definitely this takes the Distiller's Cut and Ezra Brooks 99 to a different level. I mean, if you had to pick between these three bottles, you're taking Old Ezra number 7 all day long.
I gotta believe you are. Now, the one thing is, as it gets in your mouth and the further it gets from your tongue, the more you lose whatever that fruit was that we were identifying. And it's replaced with a subtle wood, but not bitter.
All right.
Cinnamon.
So,
and maybe some licorice on the finish. It's really quite fine.
It's been a couple of weeks. I've been dying to open this. Let's do our classic neck pour routine. It's got a nice, all of them have the same wood top with an actual, I believe, an actual cork.
Yep.
There we go. We are going to let that breathe for a second. I mean, this bottle is full. There's not much of a neck pour. I mean, look at that, all the way up.
Man, that's a dark color too.
Ooh, there was a smokiness that I pulled out of there. All right, so we'll put the cap after we let that air out. Flip it. Flip it back.
And
Flip
one
it.
more flip.
Flip it. All right.
Flip it.
Pop it back open.
Flip it good.
Hopefully we've gotten rid of that. I mean, I should have, but hey, my turn to read.
Thank God. Good.
All right. So, Ezra Brooks Cask Strength. Let's make sure it's a special limited edition. This was a single barrel at the distillery. It's hand selected and extraordinary. It is genuine sour mash, charcoal mellowed Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, single barrel, 120 proof, 60 ABV, hand selected by Tony, I want to say Caimer, Caimer, Kaiser, Caimer, right? Yeah. Barrel number 7680. 411. All right, there we go. 4/22/17 is when it was filled. So, and then I just picked this up in 2022, so it's close to 5 years old. 120 proof, distilled and aged in Kentucky. Same thing by Lux Row. And I don't believe there's anything else on this bottle, but it's Ezra Brooks Cask Strength. So what are we looking at? What's the difference between Old Ezra number 7 and the Ezra Brooks Cask Strength? Well, one's a single barrel. So this is a single barrel hand selected for the distillery, limited edition, and they pick it and put it in the distillery and sell it, where Old Ezra is a batch cask strength where they're dumping multiple barrels to make a flavor profile that's consistent. So let's see what it has in store for us. Oops, excuse me. I just burped vanilla. I'm getting vanilla like I did on the old Ezra, but I'm getting some brown sugar. And there's a floral. That's a wonderful nose. That is
it's a good nose.
Complex,
Very complex,
but there's a lot of stuff going on in there, isn't
There's a slight floral. I'm not really getting a citrus or apricot. I'm getting
caramel. I'm getting vanilla.
And I'm still getting like some hazelnut.
God, that smells delicious. I hope this drinks.
I got your brown sugar now.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it big time, actually.
Let's see. All right.
That's a bourbon. That is delicious.
Lots more caramel and vanilla.
Caramel, brown sugar, and vanilla, and it's uniform
Brown
all the
sugar.
way through. There's nothing bitter. It's like you're drinking liquid sugar cookie dough. I mean, it's just it's really good stuff.
I'll give you that.
Oh my God, that's a winner there.
Wow. So what we've been trying to come up with this, and I'll put the line back out front. We just drank the cask strength. Before that, we had the Ezra Brooks Distillers. Well, the old Ezra.
Yeah, whatever, number 7.
Let's move that. And the Distillers Collection. All were delicious. I mean,
there isn't a loser here, folks.
I would say every single one has a really nice sweetness on it. They're drinkable. Lux Row, it's with old Ezra and Davis County and Dave Nichols and what's the other? There's one other. Oh, they've got their Blood Oath Pact, and they're just releasing the newest pact. I think it's Pact 8, and then they've got also their distillery Lux Row 2-barreled special reserve that they put out, which there's a 12-year, and it's delicious. I mean, we've tasted all of this, and everything that's coming out of there is so, what would you say, well branded, but also the taste profiles are so Kentucky delicious.
It walks the walk.
Yeah, I haven't had one where it's just average. It's all pretty damn good, delicious drinking whiskey. There's no doubt about it.
This last expression raises the bar. I think this is really a good expression.
I didn't know how it would compare against old Ezra number 7, which I love, but the body on this would be a butt up. Not only would I give this body, I think we give the body, it's the finish and whatever, so the most you could give is a 4, but I'd give it a butt up for a 5 because it's one of the best bodies on a. Well, it's full mouth,
and also, those that listen to me, and I probably make people who know what they're doing want to throw up, but no. I always rate a bourbon by how well the nose telegraphs the taste, and this is so uniform all the way through. And I mean, it's the brown sugar. There's maybe just a hint of nut or nutmeg. Maybe a little floral on the nose, not much, just some general spicy sweetness maybe. And then, like I say, in your mouth, it's like liquid sugar cookie dough. Think of stealing sugar cookie dough from your mom when she was baking cookies, how good that is. And that's what you got going all the way back. Uniform. There isn't a hint of wood. There's no bitterness. and you've got a fantastic finish, a long finish. And what's amazing about this expression is it's 120 proof. There's like no ethanol.
No, but it's definitely got a nice hug. There's no doubt about it.
Great hug.
A long finish. I mean, that's this right here. This is a high-end, highly recommended bourbon.
What does that fifth of that go for?
I believe I paid $69.99.
Seriously, that's a great price
at the distillery.
Yeah,
so
I would give $100 for that bottle any day. I mean, that's a great expression.
Yeah, so it's completely delicious. So that brings us to what I wanted to talk about. We had Randy Prossi on the podcast a couple times ago.
Yep.
And Kentucky Bourbon Festival and the barbecue Bardstown Barbecue Challenge is coming up in June 9th, 10th and 11th. We're going to be down there 9th, 10th, and 11th. So check us out. We'll be at the Log Still Distillery. Podcasting right from there. We are part of the media on that. So you got to check it out. If you're in Bardstown or make plans to go to Bardstown or Gethsemane, Kentucky, and, check out Log Still, check out everything that's going out on this summer. But there's going to be, the distilleries are going to be competing, creating on, I believe on Friday, the 9th is a Thursday, 10th is 11th.
Friday, 10th.
So Friday is the distilleries, and then Saturday is the actual barbecue, competing, rib barbecue
burn off or whatever.
Yeah, well, that tour from the Kansas City barbecue, tour that goes around and basically competes consistently across the country, they will be competing on Saturday. So there's going to be food trucks, there's going to be music, there's going to be everything happening on the Log Still grounds. You're going to get to basically see everything that's going on. They're getting close to getting that distillery done down there. I was down there a couple weeks ago for the opening of the event center where this is going to be happening. So it's a great, process, it's a great time to come down and see what's happening at the Log Still Distillery.
Another beautiful location, beautiful venue. You got to check it out.
One of many that's happening down there. I mean, it's just insane what's going on. But it's coming. Their vision down there is coming to reality, and this should be a pretty cool prequel to the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. Now, tickets go on sale September 11th, but if you go to the website and you sign up to be get their newsletter and you register,
tickets go on sale May 11th.
May 11th.
Yeah,
right. It's May.
You said September 11th.
I just said the 11th. That's what I thought.
No, you said September 11th.
Well, we'll check that out.
We will.
Okay.
How much money?
On the 11th. Okay, whatever. Okay, so they go on sale the 11th, and but if you sign up for the website, May 10th is you can get in there. So do what you got to do. This is going to be a spectacular Kentucky Bourbon Festival. We are so excited about it. They upped their single barrel program, which was highly successful last year, from
4 barrels.
14 to 22.
Yeah, 14. Okay, 14.
From 14 distilleries to 22 barrel selections and just you could check out the website www.KentuckyBourbonFestival.com, or is it KYBourbonFestival.com? One or the other. Check that out. Go there, check it out and see all the things that are happening. See you can see the ticket prices. I mean, for what's going to happen this year is you're basically getting let in for 3 days, and all of the tasting that you do at the different booths, it's just part of the festival. I mean, you can go, you're going to be able to buy bottles from the distilleries at the festival, buy bottles from Justin's House and Bourbon's bottle shop at the festival, selling these 22 very distinct single barrels. I've been on 2 of the picks so far. I'm so excited. I could just jump out my pants right here, like just jump out of them.
Thanks for the visual on that.
So but you know, so you got to go there, check it out, make sure you're ready to go. I mean, the VIP package is just amazing. I mean, you've got the 2 different VIP packages. You want to there's only a select few people, so you're going to want to get there and get those VIP packages, because you've got the general VIP package, which includes hors d'oeuvres, air-conditioned tent, just anytime higher end pours, all different things.
Right, and the air-conditioned tents, let me tell you something, folks, we were there last year. The best commodity of the VIP package was not the high-end bourbon, it was the air conditioning, because my God, was it warm.
Yeah, and we're out in the warmth, podcasting. So that was nice to get a break, go to the, what was the VIP this year? It's going to be where all the classroom stuff is happening, and they're basically setting up a large tent where the classroom stuff was and air conditioning it, but there will be hors d'oeuvres, special pours. You'll be able to go in there.
You can go in there anytime you want,
go
and catch
up there,
a snack and
go up and
some booze,
and then watch anybody speaking on stage from the VIP lounge. Just a really cool experience. And then you've got I believe he calls it the Flask Force, and that's the Flask Force. That means you get an unbelievable flask along with a Crystal Glencairn and everything. So, I mean, you want to check out that VIP,
it's pretty phenomenal.
So definitely, we are going to be there. Make sure if you're down there, you stop by
and see us
podcast booth, because we are there. We will be podcasting live. We love to say hi to all of our fans.
We like you to meet us, and we like to put faces to names, and you're going to see us. You're going to see our better halves, that is to say, our wives. And
maybe one of the days we'll just have it stop by and have a pour with Tiny and Xavier.
Exactly.
Because the pours now are everywhere, and just, you just bring us a pour.
We'll have to check the legality of that with Randy, but yeah.
No, they're everywhere. There's no legality. We don't have to bring the pours. The pours are just, that's what happens. Everybody gets pours at all the different booths. That's part of the package this year. Not like last year where you had bands. They're going to you're going to have your wristband before you walk in. And that's pretty cool fucking shit, overall. So, check out our last podcast with Kentucky Bourbon Festival, Randy Pross, and with Kate Price and Double O Kate and El Presidente. They give all the details of this year's 2022 Kentucky Bourbon Festival, and also the Bardstown Barbecue Challenge.
Randy addresses every aspect of the festival, what they're doing, what their successes were last year, and what they've done to fine-tune it a little bit. And it's just a great podcast.
All right. We are done. So remember, everybody, good whiskey, good bourbon equals good times, good friends, and get the hell out there and live your life dangerously.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you, I tell you, I tell you we must die.
All right.
All right. I think I did that.
End of podcast, but hopefully some of you are sticking around for the
What we're gonna call this part, the YouTube last section, we're gonna call it one more dram. Sticking around for one more dram. I just came up with that. I think that was pretty damn good, don't you? All right, let's quick get this saving. I'm gonna fix everything in all the different stuff. Congratulations, that was a wonderful podcast. Love you, brother.
Love you too, brother. That was a great podcast.
All right, let's get it saving so we don't ever lose it. Publish to for uploading. And we will call that Ezra Brooks. Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Save. There we go. So we're building that episode.
But we still got...
Yeah, we're still on YouTube.
Still producing YouTube.
And we just said, we're one more dram.
One more dram.
So...
give me another splash of that last stuff.
So out of my whole collection...
You said whole.
My whole collection. Cornelio! Yeah.
This is where we need my son here for that one.
Okay. I've got my Lux Row hat on. I haven't been wearing that. Everybody, it's just like I'm sharing my Watershed Distillery.
And you got a Lux Row shirt on because I got one just.
Yeah, I got Lux Row top thing, but we were doing the Lux Row Ezra Brooks.
Absolutely.
I think that was subconscious because I put this on not knowing what I was going to do, and then all of a sudden I've got this and this and that.
Isn't that funny how that works out?
Okay, but if that's what you want, but this is where we do one more dram, and Xavier's here with me, and he pulls the one more dram. He can make me take down 14 bottles and get one behind here. He can make me get any one out of all the collection. I
have that strange power over you.
No, this is one more dram. So what do you want us? What do you want?
Well, quite frankly, what I want is I want another taste of what we just finished with. That was
he's going to be fucking easy. So there you go.
Watch it. I may be easy.
Next time.
I may be easy, but I'm not cheap.
Our one more dram is the Ezra Brooks.
Just give me a splash there, big guy.
Splash.
Cool. Perfect.
Splash. It's like we could all go watch Asses of Fire now. Hey, Terrence what Phillips? We won't
For
talk.
those of you South Park fans,
we won't talk about the uncle thing.
No, let's not.
But shut the fuck up. Cheers. All right. No, seriously, everybody. This cask strength, Ezra Brooks, is a party in your mouth.
It is.
Highly recommended. I don't think there's too many people who like bourbon who won't like this. I would like everybody, maybe, if you don't like it, explain to me why you don't, because that's fine. If you drink bourbon, you need to drink bourbons like, but this is like the standard. Bam. Now you're going to pull in the Ezra.
Now, whereas we said the old number 7,
yeah, that's it,
was would have been a great before dinner pour. This is definitely an after dinner pour. This is dessert here.
This does everything. So like you said, everyday drinker, cigar smoker,
barrel strength, delicious before dinner. And this is any fucking time. You can smoke a cigar. You can have it after dinner. You can have it before dinner. You can basically drink it every day. Although it probably a cask strength, not too many people. It's 120. But it's funny they call it.
But that expression goes for $70 a bottle, is what you're telling me, and that is just unbelievable. I've never tasted another $70 bottle of bourbon that tastes like that. When you get into $100 range or higher, maybe this is really good here.
When you think about another classic 120 proof whiskey that's out there, and it's not sold as cask strength. It's Knob Creek. But all I can say is I love Knob Creek.
Knob Creek is a fine expression, but it doesn't taste like liquid sugar cookies in your mouth. This does.
I'm just processing what the fuck you just said, but I'm trying to not
be a dick.
well, you know me really well. If I'm going to be a dick, no matter how hard I try not to, I'm going to be a dick. So that was not what I was thinking.
You will dictify. You will dictate the situation.
I will rectify with my
God. Good night, folks. It's all done.
One more dram, but seriously, guys,
one more dram.
This is pretty. It's awesome.
It's pretty insane.
It's funny because I offered every bit of my collection up to Xavier here, and he still went with this.
Yeah, I had to have some more.
So let's put that on like that, back on. All right, everybody, remember, good bourbon equals good friends, good times. Go out there and just have fun. Don't worry about things. Live your life.
Thanks, folks. Take care.
The Watershed Story. A watershed moment might be pivotal, but it might also be quiet and fleeting. It could be a monumentous occasion, a cause for celebration, an enormous triumph, or a small daily victory. A watershed moment could be a rekindling or an observation or a gathering. Any opportunity to relish with friends and family. It's whatever you choose to cheers to, who you're gathered around, and whatever's worth celebrating. We founded Watershed Distillery on the principles of community in 2010. We wanted to live in, work in, and contribute to the community in which we grew up. We aimed to create spirits and stood apart in quality and character. Along the way, we set out to form a community of our own, one that could gather together to savor, celebrate, and enjoy good spirits and company. We've grown from a tiny little still and 2 guys in jumpsuits to a dedicated team of over 40 people and 2 much larger stills. If you're ever in the area, stop by so we can introduce you to our team and pour you some of our award-winning bourbon. Creating it was our watershed moment, but we want to hear about yours.